I'm going to go ahead and get started. On Thursday's Facebook Live, I showed 2 stamp sets from the holiday catalog that I had not used yet, and the first person to name one or the other, that would be the stamp set chosen for tonight. And Pat Drabala was the first one, so I am working with Freeskate tonight. Okay, hi Amelia, and who else jumped on? Karen from Arizona. Oh, this is fun, seeing people from all different parts of the country and Ohio too. Kathy, hello. Hi Vicky. Okay, so tonight we're going to be working with the Freeskate stamp set. It is a rubber stamp set, red rubber stamp set. All my stamps are out because I was using them. Very nice. Nice for the holidays, but nice getting into winter as well. Okay. I kind of like this too. You make my heart spin. I thought that would be nice for Valentine's Day or anniversaries, things like that. It's that wonderful time of year. That could be mean something different to somebody else. Kathy, yes, you and I live very close. We should hang out and stamp. I would love that. It also comes with the detailed skate dies. There are 2 skate dies. This one cuts out the stamped one. You have a blade. You have a kind of a lacy, fancy skate boot. You have this bow and then this holly, branch of holly leaf. Okay. So, and this to cut out the holly and berries. So you do have some variety, and it's nice that we get some added dies as well that they may not match exactly with the stamps, but they coordinate with the theme, okay? So that's my featured product for tonight. So let me go ahead and show you the first card I'm going to make with you. Okay, Warmest Winter Wishes. And the color I'm using on here for the cardstock is Seaside Spray. Hi, Sylvia. Oh, the skates are cool. Okay. And they're very easy to stamp and punch out, etc. Okay. So my color scheme is the Whisper White with the Seaside Spray. Okay. I've got all my pieces here and ready. I did some cutting and things ahead of time because I have several other projects I want to show you in addition to making these with you. Okay, so I'm starting with my card base, 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it 4 1/4. And fold that nicely. Okay. How about if I put my sample over here for you to see? Okay. So I went ahead and already embossed this Whisper White piece of paper. Okay. This Whisper White piece of paper measures 4 3/4 by 3.5. 4 3/4 by 3.5. And then I embossed it with the Winter Knit 3D embossing folder. Okay. One thing you should know about our 3D embossing folders, they are thicker than other ones we've had in the past. And we now have this blue plate for our die cutting machine. And anything that says 3D, you want to use this. If you don't have this, you may need to use a shim or something like that with your regular cutting plate. But this is really handy to have. Okay, if you like using embossing folders and you have a lot of the 3D embossing folders, I would highly suggest that you get that blue plate. Hi Terry and Pat, thanks for joining me. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that well, but I've already embossed that. And I'm going to adhere this to a 5-inch by 3 3/4 piece of Seaside Spray cardstock. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card front. I hope you've all had a good weekend. I'm tired of this time change. I feel like it's so much later than it is. Of course, I was up so early with the sun and all that. But that's okay. I got a lot of work done today. Okay. I did go ahead and stamp and punch these. So to make a pair of skates, obviously, you're going to stamp and die cut twice. Okay. I also went ahead and die cut the blades, the skate blades. And I like to put those on the skates using multi-purpose glue. Glue dots would be fine. The fine tip glue pen would also be good. But I found, that I like the multi-purpose glue the best for the skate blades. Makes them look like the real thing, doesn't it? Do any of you ice skate? I did when I was a kid. I guess after I had my own children, we did a few times as a family, but it's been a very, very long time since I've been on ice skates. But I did enjoy it while I did it. Okay. Now I want to adhere this pair of skates to my card, but I want to give it some good dimension. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to offset the ice skates like that. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals between those. Okay. So I have to kind of pay attention to where I'm putting those dimensionals. And you just do it like that, offset them. Okay. And now I want to add some more dimensionals to the back. Well, hi Deb Lopez, it's been a long time. I'm so happy you're joining us today. Ladies, I would appreciate it very much if you would share. That way we can bring more crafting friends over to watch. Okay. And I'm going to adhere the skates then towards the top. Okay. I've already die cut the bow using the Seaside Spray cardstock. One thing you can do with this, you can see that it has some long ends and short ends. You can use all of that, or you can cut some of it off with your paper snips and have it just a little more simple. Okay, you can either cut both long ones or both short ones. It's completely up to you. And then I'm just going to use a glue dot on what would be the knot of that bow and add it to the skates. Okay. Next I'll do those in a moment. I did stamp the greeting and I'm going to punch that with the Timeless Label Punch. Do any of you have the Timeless Label Punch? Wow, have I been using this a lot. It's sort of become my go-to. Okay. And I'm also using the 1.5 inch circle punch just to give a little more dimension, make that label pop off of the white cardstock. Mary Lou, do you like that Timeless Label Punch? Seems like it was just the last couple months ago that you got that. Okay, so I'm going to first adhere the label to the circle. hands are sticky for some reason. Karen, you like it too. I've got a challenge going for my team right now. All they have to do is make a card or any kind of paper craft using at least one current Stampin' Up! Punch. Then they take a picture of it and post it to our team page, and it runs through the 15th. So it's just kind of a fun way for everybody on my team to get some new and fresh ideas of different ways and different things people are doing with their punches. And then after that, when we reach the 15th, they get an entry into a drawing for each post on that site. Everything they, all the photos they posted on that site, and then somebody will on the team will win a punch of their choice. So I think that's kind of a fun thing for us to do. I'm just going to add basic rhinestones. Pearls would be pretty as well. The sequins would be pretty. The snowflakes, anything like that just adds a little more pizzazz to it. Now, I did not put anything on the inside of my sample, but I decided that I will add a little something to the inside of this card. I decided I'm going to pull out the snowflake stamp. Okay, and it's one stamp for all these different little snowflake images. Okay, and I'm just going to put it in the upper left corner like that, and I'm also going to do it in the lower right hand corner like this. And it's light enough, the Seaside Spray ink is light enough that I can go right over that with my writing. And if you feel that's too much, you can also put them higher, closer to the borders, or just do one or the other. Okay, it's a nice way to decorate your envelope as well. Okay, lets people know that something fun is coming for them. You could also do something like this. I think this is a fun thing to do. Sorry, I just pulled this out of my trash basket right next to me. I just want to stamp on the flap of my envelope. Okay, so I took a piece of scrap paper and I'm putting the edge under that flap and then folding it over. I don't want it sticking out, okay? But I want to get the excess ink on scrap paper as well too. And I'm just going to stamp right along like this. Turn it a little bit. Okay. And that's the flap of the envelope, okay? So 2 ways to decorate your envelope. Alrighty, so that's the first card. Okay, now let me go ahead and show you the second card. This is the second card. Okay, I've added a couple of additional layers from the first one. Okay, the skates are basically the same, except I tied a bow using the Seaside Spray shimmer ribbon, which is beautiful. It is on back order, but I just checked before I got online, and it does say that they are expecting the shimmer ribbon in on November 11th. So we're just a week away from getting that. So you can certainly order it, and then they will ship as soon as it's in the warehouse. Okay, and I decorated the inside a little bit too. I decided this looked like a wow to me on the outside, so I wanted a wow on the inside. So let me show you how I did this. I'm using a Seaside Spray card base, 8.5 by 5.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4, right? You know that. Okay. This is a piece of designer series paper from the Feels Like Frost stamp set. Okay. It too is on back order, but due to come in the next week, I believe. Really fun and versatile, has lots of photorealistic images of winter and nature. And then on the opposite side, it has all kinds of fun patterns and prints in white and metallic silver. So very fun, okay? So this piece of designer series paper measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. My silver foil paper measures 5 inches by 3 3/4. And the white, I just wanted a very small margin of white showing, so I just went up by 1/8. So 5 1/8 and 4 7/8. Okay, got it? I will be giving away a card tonight, so be sure to comment. Be sure to stay on too. I've got some great projects to show you. Oh, I didn't mean to put that on there already. Skipping a step. I told you that this paper is silver on white, but mine has a blue on it. I got that blue effect by using the Seaside Spray ink pad and a sponge. And I just cut my sponges apart. The round sponges are, just cut them in 4ths and 6ths. They're easier to work with. Okay. And I'm just swirling that blue ink all over that piece of designer series paper. And it fills in the white, but still leaves that silver bright and shiny. And you could, if you want it even darker, you could keep adding ink to it. I'll make this one a little darker than my first one. But I think when you're doing something like this, it's always best to start out light. You can always add more color, more ink, but you can't take it away in something like this. Okay, so there's the difference. Okay, I went a little bit darker on this one. Thanks for sharing, Kathy. I'm glad you're here tonight. Now I will adhere this to the Whisper White cardstock. Whoops. And it's ready to put on my card front. So with a little bit of ink on that designer series paper and some extra layering and varying the size of the borders on the layers, it just adds a little more interest. You can see the difference here with just 2 layers and here with 3 layers, and different sizing of those layers in terms of how much border they leave. Okay, just another way to add interest. Again, I've stamped and cut out the skates. I'll add the silver skate blades. I was trying to think, when I was growing up, so like 70s, 80s, there was a movie, was it called Ice Castles or something? And the girl was a skater, figure skater, and then she had an injury or something. She goes blind. Does anybody remember that? Or is it just me? It's kind of a silly, sappy movie, but, you know, made for TV movie at the time. And there was some romance in there. You know, they were teenagers. But I thought of that today out of the blue while I was working on these. Okay, again, I want to put some dimensionals between. Oh, with Robbie Benson, that's right. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Lisa and Pam. Is that the name of it, Ice Castles? That makes me laugh. But wasn't it? It was romantic for us young teenagers. Oh, and the scene, oh, forgot about the roses. When she skated blind and the audience was throwing the roses onto the ice rink and she started tripping over them because nobody knew. All right. So I'm just adding my skates like that. This time I adhered the bottom skate to the card front using snail, just regular adhesive. Oh, Lisa, they still air that on TV? Oh, I'll have to check that out sometime. I'll have to look for it. I'm making a simple bow. This will go at the top of the skates. And then I do have a little trick I want to show you with that snowflake paper. There. And I decided that I would stamp my sentiment on the inside of my card this time. Whoops, where is it? It's that wonderful time of year. Is it hard for you to see the white on white? Sandy, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yes, so shiny. Okay. Okay, now I have a little punched snowflake to add to the center, to the inside of the card. I'll show you where I got that from. Whoops. Oh, sorry. Here it is. So this is a scrap of that designer series paper I used for the front, okay? And I am using one of the Every Season, I think that's what it's called, Every Season punch pack. There are 4 itty bitty punches. There's a heart, a bat, a leaf, and a snowflake. So I just decided, you know, let me see what happens if I just randomly use this snowflake punch on this paper. And it does give me some cute little snowflakes. And even if it's not exactly right, it still looks pretty and it still looks festive and fun. Okay, here's a couple I punched earlier. Okay, so there's another little trick. Once you've cut that paper and you've got some scraps, look at the scraps and ask yourself, what can I do with it? Is there another use for that? Okay, so I just put one of those on with a dimensional. And now I'm ready to adhere this to the silver. And the white cardstock and the silver foil sheet are the same size as the 2 on the front. So if you're making this card, you would cut 2 white and 2 silver. And they are 4 3/4 by 3.5 for the white and 5 inches by 3 3/4 for the silver foil. And now I'm ready to put this on the inside of my card. Are you all familiar with the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper? I've used a lot of mine, so I don't really have a whole pack to show you, but one side is photorealistic images of nature in winter. Look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? There's another pretty one. They're all beautiful, and I love the colors in them. And then the opposite side, let me pull out some of these scraps. The opposite side is just prints and patterns with white and metallic silver. So really you could use it. This reminds me of that dandelion stamp set we have. So really this can go beyond the holidays. Okay. And let me show you one more way to decorate an envelope. I don't think I have any more of that same paper left, but let me double check. No. Okay. But I'm going to use this one instead. Okay. So this is super simple, and there are, different ways you could cut a pattern for yourself, whatnot. But what I'm going to do is put some adhesive on the outside of my envelope flap. Then I'm going to, you know what? I don't know if I want that one. Let me see. There's another one I thought of, but I think I've used it up too. Yeah, there's just a small scrap of that. I'm going to use this one, I think. Change it up and not just be snowflakes. So I'm going to simply adhere this to the envelope flap by matching up the edge of the DSP with the fold. Hi, Joyce and Sandy. Hello, Patty. Isn't that fancy? So easy, but what a pretty statement that makes for an envelope. Okay, it looks very formal. Do you like it? How about some hearts or thumbs up? Okay, so, and don't forget, if you're watching, please comment. The more commenting you do, the more times your name will be entered into the drawing, because on Stamp and Scrap with Mary Nabe, I do use commentpicker.com to choose my winners, and it's based on the comments that have been given. And actually I need to scroll up a little bit. Oh, Patty, thanks for asking about my run. Yes, I am rested, and we've done 2 10Ks this year, but this was a 5K. So I wasn't nearly as tired afterwards as I was with the other races, but even in those other races and our training sessions, I've never, ever, ever run a 5K. I've never run 3 miles without stopping. And I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so grateful to Andrea for helping me do this. And that was my goal this year. I wanted to run a 5K, and I did it. I ran, no walking, no breaks, no stopping, no water breaks, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So thank you for asking. And now our next big goal is we want to run a half marathon in April, which is going to be very, very challenging. Okay, I've got a few more cards to show you, but first I wanted to show you these 2 scrapbook pages I made. Now it may be hard for me to for you to see both of them at the same time. Make sure I have all my ink put away. And you can see that I use the same elements that I was using in the cards I showed you. A lot of times I just take my color combinations right from the designer series papers I'm using, or take them from inspiration from other cards I have, or ones that I've received in swaps, anything like that. Okay. So you can see I have elements of that Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper. I used, and I love this, Capture the Memories of the Season. Is that not great? How awesome. So I knew I'd be using that. It's that wonderful time of year. So I always enjoy winter. I know it gets to be a drag when the days are long and gray and bitter cold, but I love a good snowfall. Always makes me happy. And if a beautiful snowfall doesn't make you believe in God, I don't know what will. So, but anyways, I wanted to show you those. I also wanted to tell you one thing I do, and I do not have time to scrapbook like I want to. But when I do something like this, I just stick to very basic shapes, okay? So the Night of Navy I've used here is 4x6 and 4x4s, okay? And then I went down a size on the Whisper White, but very basic, simple, okay? The other thing is and a lot of people don't scrapbook. I think here Beverly's on and she's saying she doesn't do scrapbooks, but this could make you change your mind. That's funny. Another thing though is, why not put something like this in a frame? Use it as part of your holiday decorating or your seasonal decorating, or give it as a gift. Grandparents would love this kind of gift. Aunts and uncles. Moms and dads, something to put in the office. Okay, teachers. Do you see? And that's another thing I keep in mind when I am designing my scrapbook pages or my layouts. I want them to be versatile. I want them to be able to be used for scrapbooks. These could be title pages, or I could do lots of journaling on them with one featured photo, or I could use them for home decor pieces in a nice frame. Okay. Just out of curiosity, if any of you are interested in scrapbooking where I would make up layouts and we would either get together or do it by mail and Facebook Live, would you be interested in that? Several years ago, I had 3 different stamp clubs going, and it's been quite a while, and I really would like to get back into that. So if you are interested, I would like to know that. Okay, so I featured the Seaside Spray and the blues. I want to show you some other things I did. This card, I used Real Red cardstock and Real Red ink. The holly is colored with shaded spruce and the berries with Real Red Stampin' Blends. Okay, and of course this paper is also from the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper. And I kept the skate simple this time. Okay. So here's a simple little note card. Maybe you're giving a hostess gift, or a small gift to somebody at work, or a secret Santa, or somebody in your church group, or send a quick note to a teacher with a little food gift or a gift card, something like that. So I use the 3.5 by 5 note card and envelope packs. Okay, I cut out this holly using, let me think, I believe that's shaded spruce, or garden green. It's garden green cardstock. And then I just added some red rhinestones, and I stamped and punched Peace and Happiness. This is from the Itty Bitty Christmas Greetings, or I think that's what it's called. Itty Bitty Christmas. Okay, all kinds of great sentiments in there. And don't laugh, but here I was all excited. I was loving the way it turned out. This is not the first one. This is the second. Look what I did. I was going all along. I held it up and I thought, oh, I like that. And I thought, something's wrong. That doesn't feel right. I did it on the envelope. But, oh well. This way somebody will get something pretty. This would be pretty to go, write, Sharon or whoever. And address the envelope with their name and put it in a beautiful poinsettia plant. So somebody's going to get a fancy envelope and matching card, but I would not send this envelope through the mail. I will tell you that this size does go through the mail though. So these note cards and envelopes are a great investment. I believe they're $6 for 20 note cards and envelopes. They're a bit smaller, but they go right through the mail. They work beautifully, and it's a great way to do some inexpensive card making. This cuts down on costs, or maybe you need to do a whole lot, and it will cut down on some of your time as well. And then from that, I decided to make a standard size card. And again, I just wanted simple but elegant, and I think that comes across on here. Joy to the world and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year are also from the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set. Okay, so there you have lots of card ideas, some in red and white and silver, and others in the blues. Let's pull these out again. Okay. I will give away these 2 cards tonight. And I think that's all I have for you. You definitely want to be tuned in on Tuesday to Stamp and Scrap with Mary Nabe at 8 p.m. I've got some great projects to show you involving 2 different suites, and I'm going to be having an ordering special with those as well. Okay, some of you are interested in scrapbooking. Okay, maybe that's something we can get going, and I can do some more of that on the lives. Again, if you are interested in placing an order, I would love to earn your business. You can order online from me at marynabe.stampinup.net, and I ask that you please use my host code unless your order is $150 or more, because then you would earn Stampin' Rewards. Okay, when you use the host code, that allows me to get some reward points that I can put towards product and be able to do some giveaways and things like that. Any of that I put right back into my business. All right, I hope you all have a great week. Oh, did I share with you what's supposed to be happening this week? They're supposed to start work on finishing my basement. So I'm excited about that. A little bit stressful because there's so much stuff to move around, and but I'll be excited when it's all finished and have more space for crafting and classes and even some scrapbooking days. Okay, have a great week. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.